Hello everybody, thank you for stopping by. To all of my old subscribers and the ones that are following me, thank you for stopping by. And it's always a pleasure. And to all of my new subscribers, welcome. This morning I am just finishing up, well, not finishing up, but I am continuing on with the prayer journal that I'm making, and this is the one that I've already made, but I had some requests to make one to show how I made it. So I have been doing that my last few videos, and today will be the last video that I do. And I've kept this clip again. If you watched my last video, I kept my corrugated covered cardboard clipped just so that it would behave. And it is behaving perfectly. I really don't even need that clip anymore. It's actually perfect. It's all lined up and it's perfect. And again, I just took an old linen napkin that I had. It's a vintage linen napkin. And I covered the inside. You don't need to sew it. I did, you know, I sewed along the edges. I didn't cover this with fabric because it's going to get covered up pretty much with laces and things like that. And then here's my signature. I've only got one signature, which is plenty because I don't know how many pages I have in here, but I know it's a lot. And I'll just tell you, I consider this the cover of my signatures, so I'm not including the cover to the signature. So let's see, there's one. Take this envelope out. Oops, oh my goodness. Good thing I have wheels on my chair. So let's see. That goes here, I think. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 signatures, which gives us 14 and 28 pages. Front and back on each side. So plus, oh, wait a minute, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there's 18. So 18 times 2, you know, plus you've got your other sides. And that doesn't go there. That actually goes right here. And again, I like to cut my signatures out of my book, you know, while it's out of my book, not while it's in my book. Okay? And that goes there. And then this is the cover to my signature, which I did the, oh, I get on camera and I lose my mind, embossing. I just embossed, you know, some paper, and then I covered it with this peachy pink paper. This kit is actually by Angela Kerr, and it's her mini summer journal kit. And I chose this because I had already printed it to make a summer journal for myself to take with me on vacation. And but Mary, the person I'm making this for, her favorite color is pink. And so I decided to use this kit for this particular journal. I just love the colors and the backing. And I used a couple of other kits that I had pages laying around from. But so we made the envelope in our last one, and we are just going to stick that over a page here somewhere. And we'll put some things in that in a little while. I'll just put it right here. This I left this white piece down here to make it like a Polaroid, because I'm just going to put some words down here. I found, I actually found an old Bible Promise book that I got at the Dollar Tree. I think I bought it like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I buy them all the time. So I'm going to cut little pieces out of here and, you know, just put them here and there about the book, you know, guidance and heaven and healing and when you're feeling overwhelmed and patience and things like that. I just thought that that might be a good idea to, you know, to put here and there in the book. So that's just a piece of ephemera she can collage over. And then I just started making these and realized, uh-oh, I'm supposed to turn on the camera. So these are just some envelopes I'm making, and I'm going to stack them. I love stacked envelopes. So all you do, you don't need any glue. All you need is an evenly squared piece of paper. And I've double-sided this. So when I printed my paper, I double-sided it with, you know, lace coffee dyed paper, so that when you open it up, it's not white. And as you can see, these are going to be stacked like this, and I'll put, you know, something inside of them. So all you do to make this one is 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4. Okay, so you need a 4 by 4 piece of paper. And what you want to do is you want to fold it up like this. Make sure that your top is even, okay? And then you just want to pinch right here in the middle. And then what I do is I take my pencil and I make my center mark. Pardon my reach. I'll bring this closer because I'll be needing it. Am I in frame? And I'm going to mark my little centerpiece right here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to bring this piece to the very middle and fold it. And then you're going to flip it and you're going to fold it. And you can do this with any size square. So 5 by 5, 6 by 6, 8 by 8, 2 by 2. 2 by 2 is the smallest. I don't think you can go any smaller than 2 by 2. It would come out very, very small. I can't remember what size this is. I think it's 3 by 3 actually. Yeah, it's 3 by 3. So even 2 by 2 would be too small. So you just fold this good. I'm going to get out my little, well, maybe I'm not. I'll just use my bone folder. I hope you all had a good 4th of July. For those of you that were in the States, I was in bed very early. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to bring this up hold on, let me just see. Here's our middle. And this is how I found my middle. So we're going to bring this up to right, oh dear, hold on. I do this all the time when I get on film. All right, so we did here and here and here, okay? All right, so we've got this and this. Now we're going to bring this up to meet here. Okay, so we've got here and here and here. And then you just fold this down and tuck it inside. You just tuck it right inside there, and you've got your envelope. There you go. And this is just a different, and then fold this down like so. No glue, no nothing, and you've got yourself an envelope. And the good thing about these is the person could open it up and write something. I'll erase my little square, my little X here. The person could open it up if they wanted to. Okay, so that's all you do. I'm actually going to fold this just a little bit so that it tucks in there better. And then I have my little stack of envelopes that I can put little pieces of ephemera in. I like to add some flowers or, you know, things that people want to decorate their pages with. And they don't take up much room, and this is just regular copy paper, so it's pretty thin. Just making sure that this is even. And I'm going to start tomorrow my Christmas in July, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm not going to even give any hints as to what I'll be doing. But it will be fun. So one of the things I'll be doing, which you will like, is, I'm sorry, this is taking me so long. One of the things I'll be doing, which you will really like and will only take probably one video, is a golden book journal. Very simple, very simple. So just if you have a little golden book that's Christmas, or even if it's not Christmas, it doesn't have to be Christmas to be a Christmas gift, but I'll be using a Christmas golden book because I have some. So all I'm going to do is bend these two corners inside. Here, and then fold it up. Why is that wonky? I get on screen and for some reason my brain leaves me. I'm not sure why. So anyway, you're going to fold this up. Oh, I know. It's upside down. I'm so sorry. It was upside down. There we go. Now we tuck this in like this. Oh dear. Okay. So I hope you all got that. So anyway, that's tucked in, and then this folds over like this, and you have your envelope. So now I have 3 envelopes. 1, 2, no, I have 4. 3, and let me just tuck this back in. I'll do this again for you. You're going to take your paper, you're going to fold it like this, and you're going to pinch it right here in the middle. You're going to open it up. You're going to take your pencil and make your mark. You're going to fold this to here. You're going to fold this to here. Okay, you're going to open it back up, and you're going to take this piece and you're going to fold this. This piece comes down to here. So this, and this goes to your middle. The bottom comes up all the way till you meet this fold, okay? Then you simply fold this in like that. Oops, sorry. Fold that in, and then bring it up and tuck it right inside. So no glue, no scissors, nothing. As long as you start off with your piece that is square. And your small, this is a 3x3. So 3x3, this is 4x4, this is 5x5, and then this piece is 6x6. And then you could go 7x7 and 8x8 to get more if you want. Okay? And then you could put little things inside and then get maybe some twine, or once you've got those filled, I like to take some of my embroidery floss this is my little sewing kit I keep on my desk that I made out of a little jar from the Dollar Tree, and just put that on there. But you can take a piece of twine or some embroidery floss once you have these letters all, or these, you know, all filled, and then you just tie it up, and you've got a really sweet embellishment with little flowers or things in each envelope, or a little surprise, or a little scripture or a letter inside. Now I'll just put this back in here, and that's what you end up with. And I hope I was in frame that whole time. I can't believe, I'm going to shut off one of my lights. I'm going to shut off the only light I have on in here, because my blinds are closed and I'm afraid that you can't see. And I'm going to bring you down, so close your eyes. There we go. And I'm going to move this over here to try and block out some sun, even though I have my blinds closed. Is that better? I hope so. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to show you, what I was going to do. And I'm going to put some, like I said, I'll put some little things in there. And then the next thing is my little butterflies. Now, here's 3 different, these are pretty close to the same size, but what I'm going to do is just take my hand, my fingers, and I'm going to roll those up, and I'm going to roll this up, and I'm going to put these like this. And you can do these with any butterflies. And I have tons of butterflies because I love butterflies. And you can get them so easily. Magazines, you know, books, digitals, wherever. And then you just take a piece of embroidery floss. And actually, I think I only will take 2. This is a 4-ply, I think. I think I'll take 2. So you just separate it. By pulling on this. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to take this and I'm going to twist it around here and around here. And one more time around this side. And one more time around this side. Okay? And then in the back, I'm just going to tie it in a knot. And I think I got this idea from G. Kerr, but I can't be positive. I know she loves butterflies, so it must have been G. So I hope you're all watching the summer collaboration with Rach and Bella. I've gotten some great ideas. Bella's video I finally got to watch today, and it was great. So I've got another list going. I have lots of lists. Lots and lots. And I have now 4 boxes, 4 bins of ideas. I used to have idea journals, and now I have idea boxes. So then you just snip the back of the embroidery floss. Well, typically I'll leave it a little bit longer so that it will have antennae, but it's fine. And then all you do is, that's going to be an embellishment for something. And I will glue down these pieces, but I'll leave these pieces kind of flapping up. So that's all you do for that. And there's another embellishment. Very simple. And okay, I am going to show you how I'm going to do my cover. Oops. And I'm going to put these over here because I am done with those. And I'll put that over there. So I've chosen some fabric and some lace from my stash. And I have no idea how I'm going to do this yet, but I saw this in my stash and it's really pretty. It's embroidered. It's not antique or vintage. It's something I bought to make a dress for one of my grandchildren for Easter a couple of years ago. And I believe I got it at Calico Corners or one of my fabric stores up in Orlando area. I know I was living there at the time, but it's all embroidered on like a netting. So I'm definitely going to use that piece because I definitely have a lot of it. So I'm going to use that. But I still have up here and down here. So what I thought I'd do is, this you can get at Joann's or anywhere. And it's kind of like an embroidered white, oh, I forget what you call it, but it's a cotton, like a cotton muslin, and it's got like an embroidery on it. So, and I use it on a lot of my projects. So I'm just going to put this on the bottom because I don't have any more of the pantaloons that are big enough to go all the way around. So I'm just going to open this up and I am going to place this so that it hangs down a little bit because I like that look. And after I do glue this, I'm not going to use a lot of glue because I'm going to stitch it, but you don't have to stitch it. You can glue it for sure. Nobody's ever going to notice the difference. So I'm going to do this. So that will go in the bottom. And then I'm going to take another piece that looks good. And I'm just going to do a running stitch. So I'll need this to be a little bit longer. So all I do is get out some of my floss in white and then get a needle and thread it. So you don't need a sewing machine for this. You can do it by hand. You can do all your sewing by hand. And all I'm going to do is am I in frame? All you're going to do is thread your needle with your floss. It's kind of dark in my room, but that's okay. And this will be the last video I do on this before I do a walkthrough, before I start my Christmas in July. And like I said, I will be starting with a little golden book, a Christmas one. So you'll need some rings, like for your ring bound journal. You can get those at Dollar Tree or Staples or Michael's. I'll show you a package before we go today. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a running stitch, and I'm going to turn this under. Oh, maybe I won't. I like the shabby look. And I'm just going to do some long running stitches. So in and out, trying to keep pretty much on the same line. Because I wanted to have sort of a ruffle, but not a real tight ruffle. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna kind of go in and out of this cotton. And I was gonna use just plain white cotton muslin for this, and I don't know, I might change my mind and do this, but I don't know. I like this. I think she'll like this better. So all you do is pull this through. If it doesn't come through, just take your little jewelry pliers or scissors, grab it, and pull your needle, and it will come through. Don't drop your so I want to knot this at the end because I don't want it to come through. I need it to stay. Okay, so I'll just pull this till I have the ruffle that I want. And like I said, I don't want it to be real tight. I want it to kind of be loose like that. And you can do this with any journal. I am very shabby chic. I'm very girly. So a lot of my journal covers are like this. Not all of them. I just did a, I'll do a walkthrough of it. I just did an Edith Holden one. That's really beautiful. I love the way it came out. So I'll do a walkthrough of that. But these tend to be very girly. And this won't just be like all prayer cards. It's going to have birds and flowers, and yeah, it's going to be really pretty. So I am going to just sit this here, making sure that my ruffles are sort of even, not, you know, just so that I can see them. And I think I need a few more, so I'll just go in and out a couple more times. It's better to have more than less. Let's make sure I'm in frame. Because you can always, you know, trim it up. Okay, I think that's going to be good. So I'm going to put this here. Actually, I think I'm going to put the ruffle here underneath. And then I'm going to put this here, like this. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm halfway there. I have another piece. This piece actually will turn under once I glue it on there and sew it. And then I have another piece that's kind of long. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. So I want it to be about a half an inch, you know, hanging down. Like this one. This one isn't hanging down at all. This is right along that edge. So I'll bring it up just a little bit and let it hang down just a little bit. So I've got that. And then I've got another piece of this. And this you can get at Joann's. They actually have it on sale right now. I just bought 2 yards of it because I use it so often. So I'm going to put that there. And then I saw, oh, this is antique. And I'm going to put this, actually, I'm going to bring this up here because I want that piece to go over that ruffle. So I'm going to bring the ruffle up just a little bit, but I do want to see the paper. So bring that down a little bit because the paper is so vintagey and so sort of on the old grungy side. I like it. I think it comes from my porch prints. And this is really hard to tell which side is the right side. This is very old, but I love it. And I don't have much of it left. So that, my friends, will be my cover. And we'll go like this. And then I'll have some lace going down the edge to be able to close it. And I don't know if you can see, but you can see that paper still through there. Okay, so now let's just get it glued down. And then I'll sew it on the machine later because my sewing machine is over there, as you know. And I am going to just tie this off. And this is how I tie it off. I just bring it in through here. And then bring the needle through here. And then tie it real tight. And snip it. And then I will cut that there. Or rip it. I rip all of my fabric. I like the look. And I'm just going to make sure my ruffles are kind of, you know, even. And it's going to go like this across the bottom. And don't worry about these threads. They're fine. You want threads. You know, want rough, you know, threads. And if you want to stop it at all, just run a running stitch across it and it will stop it from doing that. So I'm going to put that ruffle there. Oops. My fingernails still have ink on them. I'm still unable to get it off. It's awful. So there's that. And let's see. I've got this piece that's going to go here. And I need to move this down a little bit because I need to see this through the lace. And I need to figure out which is the right side and which is the wrong side. Okay. And this has just a real pretty edge on the top, so I'm going to leave that too. Bring this down just a little bit. And then this. And then I'm going to cut this a little bit wide. And then we go. That's going to be our cover. So what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to get my Fabri-Tac, because anytime you're using fabric, it's good to use Fabri-Tac, so it doesn't gum up your machine. You definitely don't want to use double-sided tape. You can use glue stick to hold it. Now what I want to do make sure is that my edges are adhered first. So I'm just going to put a little spot there and then just go down. Am I in frame? Yep. And I'm going to place that right there. And see how I went underneath? I put that first ruffle, I turned it this way. So there's that, and then I'm going to do my other end and make make sure that is also lined up. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Then we've got that down. And then I'm just going to take 2 clips to hold those 2 down. These are called quilt clips, and I use them for everything, including quilting. I used to quilt a lot, but I don't do so much anymore. So then I just clip this to hold it while it dries. And then I am going to take my ruffle, because I don't want it to be all even. And I definitely want to pull some more strings. Some of them I'll cut off. But the first thing I'm going to do is spread it out a little bit and make sure it's kind of, you know, there's not too much ruffle on the front and too much on the back. So if you hold your finger in the front and in the middle, you'll see that you've got, you know, a ruffle that's pretty even. Then you want to just glue it here, there, and everywhere. So I'm just going to put a dot here. And I'm going to press that down. And then I might bring this down a little bit, so it's not just evenly straight all the way across. I mean, you can go straight across if you want. It's just how I like it. And this one. So do your middle first. And you'll be sure to, you know, have an even amount of ruffles. Not an even amount, but you know what I mean. And then just kind of go up and down. You know, bring this one down, bring this one up. Make sure you have a paper towel for your fingers because the glue does come through. This will be your hardest part because it's kind of bunchy. And then do the same thing on the other side. Run a bead of glue. And then just take your paper towel. I'm just going to turn it so I can see it better because it's a little dark in here. You don't even have to use white. It just happens to be what I have. And I'm using a lot of pink and whites and browns. So and I love this white on white embroidery fabric. The Swiss dot's really pretty, but I don't really have a lot of it. What I have is vintage. And I did get some at Joann's the other day. It's not, I don't love it, but I like it. And you can tea stain this, coffee stain it. Avocado stained is really pretty. I do have a piece of avocado stained I could put in here, actually, now that I think about it. But I don't think I will. Because that would mean I'd have to get up and go over to my pie safe where I keep my fabrics, and I would have to grab it. And so there's our first part. Now, if you're not going to glue it, if you're not going to sew this when you're done, just make sure that it's glued really well. Okay? Because you don't want it to come off. Okay, there's step one. And then I'm going to do step two up here, which is going to be very simple because I'm just going to go across here, down here, and down here. I'm not going to glue in the middle. And then I'm going to take my brush, my silicone brush, just so it doesn't go through the fabric and come through. And I'm going to pull it this way, but just make sure it's along that edge. And if you do this, it won't come through your fabric. I can't use my fingers because it burns it actually burns my skin. It must be the acetate, the acetone in the glue. A lot of people aren't allergic to it, but my friend Bella on Rach and Bella, or Bella's Crafty Studio on YouTube, she has the exact same problem. We could be twins. We have so many things that are similar. So then you just take your fabric right side up, and you're going to place it down like this. And then I'm going to just push it so that it's along my edge on both sides. And along the top. Now, see, you don't need a sewing machine. You really don't. It's extra. It's just a bonus. And you can hand sew this as well. I love hand sewing things. I will be hand sewing buttons likely and sequins on this like I did my other one. Just to give it some color and things like that. And I have been collecting antique buttons and textiles for 23 years. So, time to use them. And see, the glue doesn't come through the fabric if you take your little brush and brush it. It doesn't come through. Okay? Now, I didn't do it down here on the ruffle because you couldn't see it anyway because of the ruffle. So now you have your ruffle and you have your fabric, and yes, it's loose, but I wanted it that way. So then I'm going to take my piece of lace that I have here, and I'm just going to match it up, but I still want to see that paper in between. That's why I did it that way. And I am going to bring this over here, but leave just enough hanging over that edge. I actually think I'm going to make sure that that is straight. Use your fabric scissors. I have a much better pair of fabric scissors. I just don't have them over here. They're with my sewing machine. And I think they're actually in my sewing room because I was, we had my niece and my nephew, my brother's son, just had identical twin boys. So I'm working on quilts for them. They're almost finished. There, so that's a nice clean edge to work with because I want that to hang over a little bit. So I'm going to put this on here like so. I can take this clip off now. And I'm going to let this overhang just a bit, you know, not too much, but enough. Okay, can you see that? And I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Like that. Okay, so that's how it's going to look. And I'm going to do the same thing as I just did with my Fabri-Tac. I'm going to go across my fabric, but I'm going to do it in dots because this is very delicate lace and I don't want to see through it at all. So I'm going to go across like this. Then I'm going to go down like this. And it's just dots. And I'm going to go across here. Sort of on the paper and on the fabric. Like this. And then I'm going to go down this side as well. Just dots. Oops. And then we're going to take our brush. By the way, these are fabulous. The glue comes right off. No water, nothing. You don't need anything with these. They're just fantastic. And you can get them at the Dollar Tree or on Amazon. And I'm just going to brush this a little bit this way, you know, towards this way. Both ways, actually. Just to make sure. I'm going to brush a little bit of this onto my paper. Get this along my edge. And get this onto my paper. And see, it doesn't, it's just fabulous. It doesn't go through your lace or your fabric. It's fabulous. It's just, I tried it and it worked. I don't know if anybody else has done it. I'm sure they have, but. So, here we go. with my lace. I'm going to line up this edge because that's the edge I lined up. Now, this is the original salvage of the lace, but I love it, so I'm not taking it off. I'm just going to put that little squiggly, you know, the little curved part there, and I'm going to leave this above it because I just love it. I love how the antique salvage is all pointed like that. I think it looks really pretty. So then just take and dab that. Make sure you're on your edge, a little bit hanging over. And dab it. You know, push it down with this tool. And then here, same thing. And then along this edge. Let it dry for a second. Go ahead and take your glue off. You can use a paper towel, but you really don't need to. It just crumbles right off your hands. I just have to make sure it's not on my thumbs because I'll show you my thumb. What the glue does to me. I just have to always remember to get it right off. And I haven't even showed it to my doctor because he'll be like, stop using it. And I can't because that's what I use. But anyway, that's what it does. And it's sore. Not all the time, but it can be. So now I just use my little silicone mask brush. I didn't even know what they were. I've never given myself a mask facial before. But, oh well. Okay, everybody's using them. I use these for inks. I use them for everything. Paint. I use them for everything. I think that they are one of the most important. I've said this before in my videos, that this is likely one of the most important tools in my paper, scissors, glue, and much more toolbox. So there I go. I've got it down. There's no glue seeping through. Just making sure. And Fabri-Tac dries pretty fast, so. It's not sticky at all on the outside. There's no glue coming through, which is nice. If you use it like that, and then I'm just gonna kind of tug at this little hemline, because when I do, I noticed it kind of gives it like a little bit of a ruffle. And this is how my cover comes alive. Now, I'm going to cut this, but not all the way. So we'll cut it. I'm going to cut it here. There we go. And there's our cover. And I'll show you what I'm going to put as my focal point on my cover because I've already decided. I haven't decided what I'm going to layer it with yet. I'm pretty sure I did. What time are we at? Almost an hour. So I think I will have to go for now, but I will show you what I'm using for my focal point if it's right here. She was right here. It's one of the little girls. Here they are. So it's going to likely be this, or it's going to be one of these two. Probably, because one's going to go on the front and one's going to go on the back. And it will be layered. There'll be something layered underneath. I did find this in my scraps, but the pink is more peach. So I'm not sure, unless I did something like this. But anyway, that is going to be my focal point on my journal. And I am going to have some lace going down the side so I can tie it similar to this. I don't know if I have any of this left, but this worked really well because it, you know, I was able to go through both pieces. And then I make this little rosebud with the chiffon ribbon. And then I glue it with the fabric tack and hold it with a clip. So, yeah. So anyway, one of these is going to be the top, and one will be the back. So, like this. Okay. So I hope you liked today's video, and I will do a walkthrough of her tomorrow, and we will start our Christmas in July, which will be a lot of fun. I plan on doing videos, as many as I can, as well as I feel better. And my son is coming from Georgia tomorrow with his wife and daughter, so I don't know what our schedule will be like, but I'm sure I'll be able to video at some point for you all. So thanks for stopping by, and be well, be blessed, and have a great day. Love you. Bye-bye.